Hello and welcome to the Weekly Idiots podcast. I'm Xander. I'm here as always with my co-hosts Dragna145 and ApexZeroOne. And you say Bazinga?
Yes.
Okay. God, I haven't watched The Big Bang Theory in forever.
I haven't watched a TV show at all in forever.
Honestly, I can kind of agree. TV is not really my thing. Although occasionally I'll find like a really good show. You guys ever watch You guys ever watch a show called Scorpion?
No.
Uh,
Is that all?
I don't know. I want to say Hulu, but I feel like that's wrong. But it's a show about it's basically like it's basically like a group of like ragtag nerds, and then every episode they like save the world from like crisis or some crap. Like literally the first episode, they stopped like two planes from crashing into each other.
I was gonna say crashing into something else, but
Nice. Nice. Oh man. You ever see like old films, and like you'll see like the twin towers in the background of that TV show and movie, and it just feels so ominous because of obviously because of what happened, right?
yeah.
Like it was in I swear it was in a scene in Oliver and Company, the Disney movie. Oliver and Company, which by the way is a really good Disney movie. I would recommend that one. Whoops. I also watched The Emperor's New Groove today. I rewatched it. Yes. One of the better Disney movies for sure.
Yeah.
Especially you
What's
got
his
like
name? Anthony.
excuse me?
Anthony. He's not saying anything.
Wait, can what? And we're lost. Oh, I like I said, I'm not bothering streaming this time. I'm just recording. But anyway, uh, cut what? Oh, this? No, I'm not gonna be doing any. This is a one take kind of thing. You just uh, what was I gonna say? But anyway, yeah. What was I saying earlier about? That's what it was. The Big Bang Theory. Yeah. You ever seen Have you ever seen like those YouTube edits of like sitcoms like The Big Bang Theory or Friends, but they removed the laugh track?
Yeah. Terrible.
Honestly, it makes the shows it makes them funnier. Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say. Right? It's like they'll say the punchline or like something stupid like I guess that's the deal with airline food. Wow, so that is the deal with airline food. Right? Like the actual pauses that they do for those laugh tracks. It's great, honestly. It's great. Um I watched through the entirety of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I very much recommend. It's a very good show. It's one of Caleb's favorite shows, I think. And I actually sat down and watched through it this time. It's on Hulu. Maybe Vincent does. I know. Well, I don't know actually. Vincent, what freaking streaming services do you have? You have Netflix? Mm. Okay. Yeah, cause
I have Netflix downstairs, but I don't ever use it.
yeah, cause I,
Mostly
I
because
You
of
could
the TV.
technically move it up here. If
Te-
you know the if you
technically,
move
if
it
there's something that you actually wanted to watch, that is. But yeah,
It's not restricted to the TV.
yes.
Forget, we're not in the early
It is
2000s anymore.
Amazon Prime and YouTube for me.
Yeah, that is the.
Never rent.
Oh, dude, YouTube Red was a whole phase for like a couple years. It was so weird.
2 or 3
How did I
years.
even last?
Only like one or two good shows came out of that. The rest
The
was
only
bad.
thing, the only thing I remember from YouTube Red was a I think it was a movie that Logan Paul starred in. It was called The Thinning. It
Oh,
was.
no, that not no
Markiplier and Game
it's the
Theory
thing in
had that, right?
Aeroplane. Yes, I believe.
What'd you say about the game theory?
They had a game. They had a Angell.
Oh yeah, that like massively at first advertised one, the game theory one.
I watched like one episode of that.
I
It was like,
It was
but
very
like less
savage.
game, like less like theory of games and more like can this work on this whilst riding an ostrich? Wait, no, it's Rocket League, but ostriches.
I've never heard of this show. Hold on. Hold on.
It's
Hold
really
on.
similar.
Game. I bet if I search it like
Another
game
famous
theory
one is
YouTube
yeah,
Red.
the PewDiePie one, like Scare PewDiePie. That's what it's called.
And
Oh
Markiplier
yeah,
too.
Scare
Released
PewDiePie.
Markiplier or something.
Yeah, I maybe Markiplier had a show.
Yeah,
I know
yeah, it's
Markiplier's done a couple of the larger projects. Like you guys remember what was it?
Escape from Markiplier, whatever it's called.
A Heist with Markiplier.
Our, yeah, that's a red one. His sequel like coming soon somewhere in the time.
Hmm.
Space with Markiplier.
Dude, I remember those. Dude, the choose your own adventure type videos on YouTube are always like amazing. I had this whole stint for a month where I would just do choose your own adventure YouTube videos cuz the idea of it was just so cool to me.
Yeah, Netflix tried it and it was I think terrible.
Yes. They
It's
specifically
probably a very fine show.
I know this because I specifically tried a Puss in Boots one and I did not like it very much.
Yeah, but it may vary. It may vary.
I know.
Show.
YouTube does it
Those.
YouTube you can do it a lot better because you can unlist the choices so that they only appear as the end cards. End cards was I remember when end cards first got added as like a feature that you could do was so cool. It was
And
so cool.
then ultimately like, dominated. I still miss annotations. That's the one thing.
Dude,
Miss that.
annotations. Okay,
I
there was one of my first ever YouTube videos that I published was ironically a Nerf video. Um and there was a part where I was getting chased and like I said a swear and in the video I put up an annotation that I put up an annotation that said sorry for swearing. It was so good.
oh my god,
Oh,
you're so petty.
it was it kind of makes me wish I didn't delete some of my older videos cuz I was
Deleted or unlisted?
I that was before I knew about like what unlisted was. So yeah, I deleted some of my older stuff, which really sucks.
Like,
I did find some of it on Verond before it got shut down. Cuz I used to post to Verond as well. Vincent remembers Verond. Anthony probably doesn't. It was a YouTube knockoff that I was
yeah, I've
pushing
seen
for a
your
while.
I've seen your ad.
Yeah, the advertisement. Which I found out they were using but didn't tell me they were using, so I was like that's not cool.
They're using what?
They were using my advertisement but didn't like they didn't forwardly tell me that they were using it. They were just kind of they never said anything to me, but they used the ad that I made. And I was like that's not cool. You should have at least said something. So yeah, I think I unlisted that for a while, and then once it like fully shut down, I think I put it back up now. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, um, dude, that was insane. Actually, one of another one of my first ever YouTube videos was actually a Destiny gameplay video that
Then you put your camera
yeah,
away.
I put yeah, the classic I don't have a capture card, so I'm gonna set up my phone like across the room, zoom it in on the TV, and play that way.
Yeah.
It was so
Oh, yeah,
good.
whatever. You didn't have the range.
There was something there was something about that style that's just nostalgic.
Yes.
One of the other videos I uploaded, I posted in like, dude, I want to say it was like 7th grade that I recorded in like, I want to say like 5th grade. We were oh yeah, it was right when it was it was either like the year of or a year after Mario Kart 8 came out. I recorded a Mario Kart 8 video with at the time my best friend. We played some Mario Kart. I still remember some of the stupid shit we said. um So, in Mario Kart, specifically Mario Kart 8, there's a car called the Sneaker, which is a literal shoe. Um, and yeah, like he had brought it up. It's like, by the way, you're driving a shoe. And my reply was, "Is that why I'm gonna step on you?" Oh,
Go to jail.
dude, if I still had that video up nowadays, oh man,
You'd get blasted by probably me or some
blasted by Vox.com. Like one of those other.
This man said that you would step on a child back when you was a minor.
I was
For
about.
some reason, we are BBC.
I feel like that's more concerning. Why are they British? Why are the British attacking me?
Yeah, we're ex-employees from the BBC that tend to Fox.
The British are coming by internet. By internet.
The British are coming. The British are coming. By where? The internet. What the fuck is an internet?
Oh, it's so dumb.
You just see like circuits flying in the sky and it just crashes and explodes.
Oh man. I remember I feel like I brought this up before, but I used to make Pixel Gun 3D videos.
It's on 3D, the greatest secondary Minecraft game until they
Before they ruined it, yeah. Before they ruined it. Well, I don't know. Dev's got to make money somehow, I guess.
fine money. Besides, it was roughly easy.
Yeah. No, that was some good times. Good times for sure.
What I used first? You played it on. I played it back. I still have the device. I still have the device. I think it's a Samsung Galaxy tablet something.
You know, guys, I actually I'll let you finish in a second, Anthony, but I just thought about something. I thought about something that exists, and I'm wondering if I can use it.
Gattaca.
Where is it at? Did they actually take it down? Oh, okay, that's what it calls. So what I'm looking for the specifically the YouTube time machine, because I'm wondering,
Oh, and if you're
or the Wayback Machine.
yeah, no, the Wayback Machine still exists.
Yes. I guess it's a subscription service now, or is it? No, hold on. Okay. Okay, so 2015 December 25th, 2015 was when I first created my channel. This calendar view was crawled by the not how many times the site was actually updated. Okay, so let me see this. I guess it's loading. I've never used the Wayback Machine before. I'm not really familiar with how it works. Ah, here we go. Okay, so December 25th, 2015. Jesus, Adele was so popular back then. Good lord. Adam ruins dude, Adam ruins everything. You guys ever watch that show?
That's familiar.
It was basically just a show I think College Humor did where I can't remember but yeah, no, the show's basic premise was just him like talking about like common common misconceptions about certain things. Like this one I'm looking at right here is Adam Ruins Funerals, and it just talks about like how like funerals generally like exploit stuff. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I can't. This Wayback Machine is in the way of the search bar. Okay, wait, hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Apparently, I guess not. Let's see here. Let me try, Oh, dude, Deadpool was coming out right about this time. That's crazy. The first Deadpool movie. I remember I really wanted to... Because I was back at the time, like, I knew nothing about Deadpool. But, like, the only thing I knew about Deadpool was that my dad really liked Deadpool. And that was it. That was the only thing I remember.
That took me and my brother to watch Deadpool when it came out.
Oh, dude, that's cool. Deadpool actually is the only movie that I've ever bought. Yeah, no, that is the truth. I bought Deadpool on I think it was Google Movies. Because I think I got like free credit or something. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna buy Deadpool because I really wanted to watch this movie. And so yeah, Deadpool is the only movie that I've ever bought. Any other movie was either pirated or somebody else bought it for me. As in like we like went to see it at the theaters or whatever. Actually, that's not true. I rented a animated movie. It was an animated Batman movie starring Adam West, the 1960s Batman, if you remember him. I rented that movie. But Deadpool is the only one I've actually ever bought. Which is kind of insane, right? Because, like, it's just, like, it's not something you think about, but it's just, like, dang. Trying to think, how would I find my YouTube channel? I probably have to scroll through a few days. But this website does take a considerable amount of time to load.
Yeah, because like rolling through like several different active archive sites, like active archives from.
Yeah, so I'll probably want to fast forward to like January.
You'd have to remember like when was your first or like third video you posted.
Yeah, and that might take a while. Oh God. Dude, Hotline Bling by Drake dropped about 2 months ago. Like back in Jesus. That song was so popular back then. Oh Jesus. Oh my god, I'm remembering how cringe I was. Oh.
Good. Really?
You still
You still are.
No, no, but it used to. You don't realize it used to be so much worse.
Years ago old you be cringe?
Oh, okay. So let me tell you how high off my ego I was back in seventh grade.
God complex.
Not necessarily. Um, I just had this like
Victim mentality.
I had this like misconception that I was like 3 times sexier than I actually was.
Everyone says that. What do you mean?
no, not everyone.
Not everyone,
I wouldn't say
but
that.
no. I was I was a lot more confident back in seventh grade. Granted, I actually looked half decent around eighth, ninth grade,
I'd say that.
but no, no. I think about my sophomore year was when all the post puberty like acne and all the other like nasty stuff started kicking in. Because I had a pretty clean face throughout like most of my youth, and then sophomore year, God just like he like pulls up my profile and he's like, "Oh God, I forgot to activate puberty." Ugh.
I was like, oh shit, this little fucker.
just slams the button. My entire face turns into a pizza.
It's a pizza with like a scattered mozzarella.
Jesus.
Yeah, especially it's like the first one, you're like, oh my god, is like something wrong with me? And then you're like, the next day, you're like, I'm like, what the hell?
Jesus.
And then your mom says, welcome, my child, to puberty.
Whoops. Okay. That did not work. Okay, hold on. I'm still like on the hunt to try and find like
Whilst he's doing that, I'm going to explain about my little bit, like, past career.
here we go. YouTube.
A little bit of past of my career. I believe I made my first channel back in 16 or 15. Very crappy content.
Um
Damn disgusting. I don't believe. I really don't believe
I don't really know how to I gotta be honest, I don't know how to operate this Oh, you know what? I could probably just paste my YouTube channel link. See it. Oh God, no! Shut up. I forgot that auto.
that just played in your speaker.
That is my channel trailer. I forget that it auto plays
All I heard was
when I yeah. So sometimes when I load up my channel, it auto plays my channel trailer. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, I guess I guess it just I guess it doesn't. I guess it didn't save my channel, which I don't know why it would. I think that's like something you have to actually manually do. If I do, yeah, no results. That is definitely a shame. I would really like to see if I could ever find a way to go back and watch some of my old shit.
Yeah, so no matter what time is lost in here, then
Well, I mean, there is that
people actually save anything from the internet from the bygone past, like the old Kia, like the old Kia.
what is happening?
I forgot I had this on. Like the old Kia before the entire purge.
Oh yeah, I guess that was a whole thing. I don't know. I don't really follow Pornhub news.
Yeah, like I found it out as soon as like I was searching for like my just like scroll for like multiple tabs, like, wait, why are they all gone? And I just look up news about it, and I was like, what the fuck? No! And because it's just the case of like, oh, we found miners in our side. And I was like, yeah, but did you have to go to the
Why is
extreme?
there a why is there a but in that sentence?
Did I say what? I'm not sure.
Yes.
Okay.
They,
Well, then I'll start
if
over.
they
'Cause I-
found they found miners on their website, that should be more than enough reason.
Oh yeah. But did they have to go to the extra mile just to kill every account that wasn't
Verified?
yeah, verified?
Oh, I guess that is something they did.
Yeah,
I mean, that's like a pretty safe bet, right?
yeah, but that's also
It's
they also kill about probably like 80 to 65% of all their videos.
very true, very true.
Because now now me as like just an average degenerate, I'm trying to find one specific video that is a game that looks super interesting, and I can't find it. And
No bitches?
Yes, the rock. but yes, it took like I was on a hunt for that old video like for like nearly like 3 weeks after like the pay.
Oh, dude, now that I think about it, I do actually remember that purge because there was one specific video that I had saved that got removed, and I was like, damn,
Yeah.
okay. Like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's it's like
Yeah,
it's not that big of a
but the
deal.
case, like this one, it was like less degenerate, more like an actual like game story wise, with hidden degeneracy. So that's like I think I watched.
I mean,
it,
Anthony,
like,
it's a porn game. You can sugarcoat it as much as you want.
I don't care. I don't care. Age restriction, whatever. And
Yeah,
besides,
no, I never understood those, to be honest. I never understood like interactive games like this. Cause
yeah.
at that point, just like buy a prostitute.
Yeah, well, you have to go to New York for that.
That is very true. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, or by God, go to California.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not
Las
nowadays. Vegas,
Las Vegas.
Vegas. I've never actually been to Vegas.
Angell once.
Did you hate it?
Ah, did you hate it, Vincent?
Did you see it?
I just played Legos the entire time.
Wait.
You didn't go outside. You stayed in your room and played Legos.
Well, we didn't walk around. We walked around, but like,
So
we
you
stayed in a
walked
hotel
around
room
playing
most of the
Legos.
time.
So
Vincent,
sad.
didn't you go to Vegas in like 9th grade?
No,
I,
I was way younger than that.
are you sure? I'm like 90% sure you've gone to Vegas since I've met you.
No.
Okay, so the reason I thought that was funny was because I thought that like you had gone to Vegas at least once since we met. So the idea of especially like teenage you just playing Legos the whole time at Vegas is hilarious to me. But yeah, I guess I'm
Also
wrong.
not the entire
Yeah,
time, but yeah.
does everyone agree that Legos is a timeless object?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely for sure.
What about
Bionicles was always one of those things like I never really got into, but like whenever I did have one of them, I always thought they were dope. Like I had I wish I still had my gold pieces. I'm so upset that I don't have them anymore.
Yeah, for me, Bionicles is like I was thinking like the mid early to late, like mid early.
Bionicles was peak Lego. Let's be real. Bionicles was peak Lego.
I have a bunch of those, or had a bunch of them.
I still have some. I don't have Bionicles per se, but I have like they still use like the Bionicle system, but it's other brands like what was it?
Mega Blocks.
No. Like it's still Lego, but they still use like the Bionicle system of like the way the pieces work, but it's not the actual like Bionicle series. like they're I'm trying to remember the name.
My last
Um,
type of bionicles were, I believe that phase where they had like a weird, where they like tried to use them as like game pieces, but not really.
Interesting.
The main gimmick of them was just like each of them, even the good guys and bad guys, had a launcher and a specific roar
Bro,
called
Hero Factory.
Hero Factory.
Hero Factory was super cool, dude. If you remember Hero Factory, props to you. That was cool. They even had like a whole they had a whole show about it too. Like they had like a I think it was one of the first ever like Lego series that they actually adapted
Ninjago.
into a cartoon. No, yeah, this was before Ninjago. Even Hero Factory?
I didn't really. I wasn't into it.
Or now that I think about it, there might have been a Bionicle animated series.
Yeah, there was. There's a few. I watched the movie. I forgot which one.
Okay, dude. This reminds me of this reminds me.
It reminds him of something.
I am reminded of a very specific scene from something that I saw. I swear it was Red versus Blue, but I have no idea.
It was season. Was it? This they made an entire episode made out of Legos.
No. It has nothing to do with Legos, but I just randomly remember this. I remember a scene. I remember like a very specific scene where they were walking through a hallway, and one of them says "get down," the other one says, "Oh, get down," like dirty get down, and then they actually get down because lasers or whatever
Down
shit.
on it.
Get down on it. But yeah, I don't remember. Like I swear it was Red versus Blue because like I specifically remember like the Halo Spartan models. But this had to have been like
Could have just been another machinima.
it could have been because like I swear we bought this DVD at a Fred Meyer back in like 2014.
Yes.
And that is probably separate from Rivers because I'm not
Probably
sure.
is on
Vincent
Rivers.
knows more about
DVDs.
this than I do.
Dude, I
Rivers is
specifically remember my mom buying or like renting this DVD from a Fred Meyer back in like 2014. It's just so weird because like
Yeah. Remember when Blu-rays were like expensive and now it's the commonplace?
what the hell even is Blu-ray? Like
It's
all this time I still don't even know.
It's just disc format. It's just that Blu-ray disc can hold more memory than a regular CD disc can.
Oh, okay. Really? That's it? That's
Yeah,
so lame.
higher quality, more memory, and all in all, they made the cases very similar. Like I can actually like a literal comparison.
I thought the military used them in their laser guns.
Yeah, no, that's different.
Blu-rays are
That's
just
like
Star Wars.
These are DVD cases. These are your usual DVD cases, all
Right.
black and like big, and then like here like the new modern Blu-ray comparison to size.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
I like how there's so much crap on Anthony's desk that he literally just has anything. Like
yes, I could just pull out a nuclear bomb at will, and you would never know it.
yeah, like Anthony, grab a pen.
Oh.
See? Let's see. What else would you have?
Yeah,
Do you have a quarter? Do you have a quarter?
Wait a minute. I probably do in this mess, but sadly I don't.
Oh yeah, you never told me what happened to all the cans you got rid of.
They're
We
right
actually
there.
got rid of them.
Yeah, he actually took them off his desk. I can send you the
They're
Isn't
right there.
that bag right there?
Yeah, it's right there.
he actually
It's
did
three
take
out-
them off of
it's
his
three out of-
desk.
It's three out of four. It's
Jesus.
one.
I've been telling you for like the last month you need to like find a place and like forge it into armor or something.
Yeah, I know, but it's the fact that I don't want to and can't.
Well, give me the cans then. I'll
Fine, fine. I already have your address. I can send it to you.
Oh no! Wait, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I don't need my.
Oh, wait, no, I do. Wait, hold on. But Xander, you also got
I d- I. What is that?
Welcome to 2014 of my existence, where I literally wore only this to my school.
Oh, that hat. Yeah, the Mountain Dew hat. I vividly remember.
Yes. Well, anyway, Xander, cap. You know, you gotta realize that everything I say is cap. Fake, false.
Yeah, I know what cap is, Anthony. Relax.
Do you know what shoe is?
Do you go on my feet?
You know,
They're shoes. What are they? What are they supposed to do? Like,
they go on your socks.
okay, you got a point. You got a point. And there he goes. Or there I go. Did I get owned? Maybe I got owned. I think my... Oh god, did I crash? Oh no.
Yes.
Okay, we're back.
Yes, you did.
We're back. Okay, so I think it's Anthony that just got this screen cap of him just in this pose. Wait, we gotta all do the pose. We gotta all do this pose. Vincent, don't be a pussy. Turn your camera on. Do the pose. This is the cringe stance.
I'm gonna go eat soon, so.
Just hurry up and do it. Quickly, hurry before his before his camera dies. Of course your freaking camera's busted. Oh, that's funny. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. That's the thumbnail. That's That's the thumbnail. Oh, that's beautiful. Anyway, while we wait for Anthony to come back, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. Xander, Angell, ApexZeroOne, Dragonal145. Yeah, subscribe to all three of us. We're funny sometimes.
Only one of us uploads.
Yeah, well, Anthony occasionally. Vincent, I don't think you haven't uploaded in like a whole. I think it's been like a whole year, right?
A Destiny 2 video.
It was. Yes, I remember this specifically. No, the only reason I remember that video is because the beginning of it starts with "You're lucky Vincent's here, or else I'd be saying racial slurs." That's how the video starts. I can't remember who said it. It was either like Kin or yeah.
I think I was Kin. Not sure.
Oh god, he's got his phone out.
Because my internet crashed on my PC.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened. You did miss a funny moment. You were frozen like this, so we all did that pose.
The Joker.
I think actually I think I still have the ticket to that movie. The Joker film with Joaquin Phoenix. I think I still have the ticket. I think. I'm not gonna bother looking for it right now, but I just thought I'd bring it up. Damn, he really just be stanced there. Oh, by the way, Vincent, how's the new chair, by the way?
That's pretty good. The only problem I have is the arms on it.
Oh.
Like a cover on them or something.
Yeah. I don't mind the arms on these. I need to find the Allen wrench that I used for this chair because my left armchair is a little loose. Like if I adjust the chair, you might be able to see. Or, okay, hold on. I'll have to actually like. But you can see it wobbles.
Yeah,
Yeah, just get rid of it.
No.
It's hard.
Why would I get rid of the armchair?
That's what I did. That's what I did with my. That's what I've done with my chair. It came with armrests, and they were actually like both. Well, they were getting slightly wobbly, and also like the fabric on the leather on them was like ripping off. So I just got rid of them entirely.
I almost never use the armchairs are not really something I think about because like I usually have my hands down here because I'm gaming.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
and that's also like since I have like very long arms and I just kept colliding on them. And sometimes it's like
Yes,
scraping off
because
my
you
hand off.
because you have the body structure of Cinnamon from Apple Jacks.
Wrong. It's not wrong.
What do you mean
I am
wrong?
cinnamon.
Oh.
I feel like
I am cinnamon.
Here I come, I am Cinnamon.
Look out! Here comes cinnamon. Look out! I am cinnamon. I miss I miss old advertisements like those, and now we just have bullcrap woman that just speaks in every commercial.
Dude. Yeah. Commercials just aren't the same nowadays. Because they're so easy to make, so why would you bother having them be good quality, you know what I mean?
Super Bowl commercials exist too, so
Yeah, but that's like the only time they put any actual, like, proper effort into it most of the time.
Besides besides like what was it, 2 years ago Super Bowl where they had Rick and Mort.
Oh, yeah, Rick and Morty.
Rigor and Mortis.
Ah, yeah, rigor mortis. Isn't that when your body gets all stiff after death?
And sadly I've had firsthand experience seeing that.
I've always wanted to crack one like a glow stick.
The day after, before we went to send her to what was it, like the whatever the fucking ash board place that it's called, whatever the thing is, I don't know.
The crematory?
Yes. Like it's over back there. Her stuff is all the way back there.
It's probably the title of a porno, crematory.
It would most likely like that would just be like very disgusting, like having the people getting steaks.
Oh yeah, it's very specifically it stars Asa Akira.
Why do you have to be like this?
I thought
I'm the teacher, and why do you have to know about them more than I do? And I don't look at that crap.
I'm good at remembering names, that's all.
I'm better with faces.
Which is ironic, all things considered.
Yes, I know. Yes, and besides, I know what Vincent looks like because racism. His entire family lineage look the same.
Okay, we're gonna start this debate again.
Yes, let us skip this before I get more racist.
No, let's just make it worse. Let's just make it 3 times worse.
Okay, they're all the same height except I think it was the mom.
okay, maybe kind of yes and also no.
Here's a question. If you put like my family, Anthony's family, and Vincent's family, as well as like the 3 of us, if we were all in a pitch black room, do you think we'd be able to identify each other?
If we know our general outlines, yes.
Yes.
Like if we're wearing we're in those like black onesie suits that covers your face and body.
Dude,
and,
I had such a cool outfit. Okay, so many years ago, I think I was about like 10 or 11 at the time. My dad would play a lot of softball, right? I mean, he still plays every now and then, but obviously with COVID, it's a little more difficult to. But anyway, yeah. So we put together we put together because the team he played on was called the Stickmen at the time, and so we had put together an actual Stickman costume. And so when it got dark, it was one of those black bodysuits, and we had glued like glow sticks to the suit when we got there. So when it got dark, I was just like a glowing Stickman. I don't know if it was glow sticks or if it was one of those like glow in the dark tape things.
Probably tape.
Probably tape, most likely. Yeah, that seems a little bit more likely because glow sticks probably would not last very long.
No, and it would be too weak.
Yes.
Unless you got like industry glow sticks.
Military grade glow sticks.
Those exist.
They do indeed exist. Yes. Dude, have you seen those like military grade flashlights that just shoot like a beam?
Yes,
Like they're just insanely powerful.
Overly compacted civilian ones that are saying this is the brightest that will cover the entire sun or some bullshit like that, and then it's just like some shitty footage of someone just illuminating a forest with it.
Yeah. Oh man. What was the first thing you ever bought for yourself?
Goodbye.
Wait, hold on.
The way his camera shook when he dropped down. Anthony's dodging the question, and I find that concerning.
Because I don't have money.
So you're telling me you've never bought anything for yourself?
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I can't. Because nothing. Because you already know my definition of myself, and I haven't.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you right now, the first thing I bought, I still have it, and you'll find this totally surprised. Like of all the things I could have purchased with money that I earned myself, you would have never thought this was any of the options. It's this Nerf gun.
Makes sense.
Mine was the shirt. Hold on.
Huh?
Yeah, mine was that crow shirt. I'm pretty sure you guys seen.
I know. I think I know what shirt you were talking about.
The red shirt with the crow on it. Pretty sure you've seen it, right?
Vaguely remember it.
Yeah, I think that's the first thing I got. It was like $5 because it's on sale.
Gotcha. And Anthony's never bought anything for himself.
No.
You're telling me you never like breakdanced on like a street corner for like $5?
No. Besides, we lived in Auburn, and we lived like super high up in a house on top of the hill that was like in the edge of like a neighborhood district.
Oh, so you were expected to have money.
No, we're not. We weren't in like a rich manor. It was just like a normal city house that we had like 2 to 3 other neighbors by us.
Right. Okay.
Besides, I'm still angry that the house was gotten rid of.
Yeah. I think the first house
and the only street corner would have been a bus bench for school children that were going to Evergreen Heights.
My first ever house burned down, actually. Like the first house I ever technically lived in, because I was like an infant, right? It was the only thing because obviously I was an infant, so I'm only gonna remember like nothing.
All you remember is the color red, and that's it.
Yes. Yeah. The only things I know about it was that we were living in like it was one of those dual complexes where like it's kind of like 2 separate houses, but it's the same building. If that makes sense. Like one of those portable classrooms you see at schools.
Never seen it.
Kind of like that, but like an actual house. No, like this is a real thing. A dual complex. It's like one building, but it's technically like two separate houses. And the lady we were living in that dual complex with, I guess, left her stove on, and the house burned down. And that's it. That's all she wrote. I feel like I asked this question before, but I'm gonna ask it again anyway. What was your first conscious memory?
I don't know.
Well, what's the first thing you do remember? Sad. I guess Anthony's internet crashed again. Indeed. My first conscious memory was calling my aunt fat.
Of course it is.
Why do you say of course it is? I'm just the type of guy to like go around calling everyone's aunties fat. Your auntie's fat, your auntie's fat, her auntie's fat, your auntie's fat, everyone's auntie's fat.
It's calling everyone fat. Not just aunts.
Well, it really depends on the context. Anyway, yeah, no, I can't remember what I was doing, but I was sitting somewhere, and my auntie, who was babysitting me at the time, because I think it was like relatively, it was a little bit after my parents had split, because my parents had split when I was very young. So my auntie was babysitting me because obviously my mom had to work, couldn't watch me. So my auntie was babysitting me for a time, and then I remember she was like coming down the stairs, and for some reason my like 3-year-old ass just went like, "Uh-oh, here comes the big fat auntie." And then
Why would you do that?
well, sorry I can't do a perfect impression of a 3-year-old, all right?
Speak normally.
No, why would you insult your own?
That's not eat a dick, Vincent. Anyway, so yeah, I got roasted, and that I don't call women fat anymore.
That's a lie. You did.
Not with a, not unless it's with a PH, you know what I'm saying?
Go back to Canada.
I've never actually been to Canada.
We literally live in Washington.
You're born there.
We could take like a 2-hour. We could take like a 1-hour drive to get to the border and up.
I actually was born in Washington.
All of us were born in Washington. Well, not in I don't know.
No, I think Vincent used to live in California, right?
No. My parents did, not me.
Okay. That's half right.
I am a shock to everyone. I am adopted and not these two. They already know.
Yes.
I was adopted, and I don't know like where I was originally from, but from where how my parents sound, they sound like they're from like Mid-East. Not like the Mid-East of the U.S.
So you actually have met your biological parents?
No. From the sound, from what they've done to me, they sound like they're from Mid-East, from the Mid-East of Washington. But not Mid-East Washington, Mid-East of the U.S. Like they were born there, and then they like flew in the Washington, gave birth to me, like tried to feed me alcohol, and then threw me in it, and was taken by Child Protective Services and thrown in a adoption center.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that.
I have never met my actual parents.
I guess it's not really one of those situations where you would want to, huh?
No, but it's like I wanted to like.
Aha! It is me, your birth child. I am back to feed you alcohol and throw you in a dumpster.
Yeah.
This is a revenge story.
Yeah, it's like I think as a kid I wanted to try to meet my dad, but at the I was I don't know where I was. It was like this is like a half memory. I remember being at a place sitting down waiting. I'm not sure. It looked I was like in the middle of an intern area, and
Mm-hmm.
for some reason I was like crying to the fact that I couldn't see him. And I remember my mom at the last moment like before we left was like he flanked out at us because she probably knew more, and she was probably on my call, I
Interesting.
think.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing a voice from my mom's phone, but I don't know who's my dad or the dad.
Mm.
Yeah, but I do know one thing. My OG mom and my dad were like had connections, but I think that was like resolved quickly because like the OG mom didn't like want to see me because she didn't feel right of what had happened to me, and also was
Yeah,
scared
that
of
that
that I
checks
cried.
out. Oh yeah, you weren't in the call when I asked this. What was your first conscious memory?
Oh, that's a hard one. I might do like one of my little stories other than this because I can't remember far back.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think one of my most like probably more conscious memories as a kid was Christmas, and I will shorten this. I was like half awake and half asleep. I hear someone cry on the outside of the room. Didn't see your microphone. Like I hear someone crying outside of my room. Again, it sounded like it sounded like an adult. It went out, and it was my mom and dad like bickering to each other. I was like, "Who's crying?" And my mom and dad were both like, "Get to your room!" Like they're very like loud, like mean, like stern voices. Like sits. Ooh, nearing Christmas, Angell, maybe keeping the presents hidden from these children. Be gone. And then I went back to my room, and then the crying stopped, and it always like shook me as like who is crying? It was my mom.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it could have, and like my mom like to this day says, oh, it must have been like Alexis or like actually like must have been Alexis, but I'm like no, that was an adult crying.
Ah yes.
My first experience of a ghost. Oh!
Woo. Never really had any like supernatural experiences, to be honest.
I wish I did. I wish I did because
I've had like
nothing in my life happening.
I've had like moments where like my door will open on its own, but that it doesn't do that anymore because for the longest time, my door, uh, the like the center mechanism on the side of the door that actually like goes into the door frame and like keeps it shut.
The winges.
If that's what that's called, yes.
My door opens when my window is open. That makes sense.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, that center like locking mechanism was backwards on my door for the longest time. So you could just this is Sparta and just kick my door open.
That's it backwards. I thought I was like, your door goes inward, not outward.
No. The center mechanism, you know how it's like normally it has like that slant so that you can shut it, but you can't like pull it open without turning the knob first. That mechanism was backwards. So you could just open the door just by pushing on it. But to close it, you'd have to turn the knob and push. And it was like that for
I thought you were referring the hinges of the door, not like
no, not the hinges. No.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, it was like half
if
the.
it's backwards, you're a terrible person to install that door.
I think
No, you installed it upside down.
built wrong.
Yes, literally.
One of the funniest instances is when my door first got fixed. I think it was when my doorknob got replaced. Was I'd gotten accustomed to opening the door with my head by just pushing my head against the door, and so there'd be instances where I would just go up to the door and just I would just.
Yeah, just your head. Congratulations, Xander. Now has a concussion. Xander
Yeah,
has
it was really funny.
That's where his brain damage came from.
Yeah, my brain damage.
Mr. Angell now has dementia. So, politics.
Politics. What do you guys? What are your guys' thoughts on the Ukrainian war, huh?
World War
Everything.
III.
Yeah.
Where's Captain Price when you need him?
But,
I
yeah,
don't
I've
think.
heard-
I don't think it's gonna escalate like that. I think. Because like it's not one of those things where like, oh, Russia wants to take over the entire world. It's like, no, they just want Ukraine because it used to be part of Russia.
No, yeah. But I've done a little bit of research. They could be doing two things. One, break like one, getting land, and also more gas deposits. That's like in the that side, like that's the west side, east side of Ukraine.
Oh yeah,
So you're
that is true.
and
Yeah.
also possibly like getting like a part of the river that goes through to the Constantine. No, that's the wrong. Like a small island that's under Ukraine. Since there's like a riverway that was like made.
Byzantine?
Yeah, like
Byzantine?
no, fucking the little like inland island that's like under Ukraine. I forget what it's called.
I don't remember it either. But yeah, I know something. I know it had to do with like Ukraine or like some part in Ukraine being formerly part of Russia, and then they, obviously they split off, became their own sovereign nation.
But most likely, but also it's
Yeah.
wrong because like just like we're gonna keep saying that, but instead we're just gonna take it over to bring back the old
Right.
USSR and then later absorb Ruthenia.
Yeah, I still doubt it's gonna escalate to that extent.
But there are two options for the EU. One, there is option A, which is likely going to happen, which is just send support, and if it gets too far, send in actual more support and or get involved. And
Right.
the other one, which is just send support and watch. Which will not
Yeah.
happen, and like go 1%.
Yeah, I know people are freaking out because he's like, oh, he's gonna pull out the nukes, and I don't think Putin's that dumb. I think he knows that like once somebody does it, everybody else is gonna do it, and then
Yeah.
we're all gonna be screwed.
As someone once said, once the genie is out of the bottle, he won't be able to go back in.
I think it's more of a cat's out of the bag than a. Okay, whatever. That it kind of works. I will allow it. As if I'm some kind of like metaphor police. No, you can't use that metaphor. Shut up.
But also which is an annoying thing. Once Russia takes that place over, they're gonna make two separate independent states, which are already probably gonna be absorbed into Russia. Which are these
Right, kind of like yeah.
These two shitty pro-Russian states that have been fighting for independence for years.
Yeah. It's sucky what's going on over there, but you just gotta help in whatever ways we can, even if that is just like best wishes.
Yeah, best wishes is most, but you can't do anything. Though the one thing we like.
Emma Raya's probably started a food drive for them. That's like a very her thing to do. I almost want to check, to be honest. I just want to see if I'm right about this. Because I no, what I'm saying is I have the feeling that Amaraya, you remember Amaraya, right?
Yeah.
I have like the sneaking suspicion that she's started like a food drive for the people in Ukraine.
It makes you say that.
It just seems like a very her thing to do. She's very like activist. No, apparently I was wrong. Anyway, okay. I'm a simple man. I get on Instagram. I don't even. I don't even want to describe what I saw. I get off Instagram.
You see a half cloven woman. You get off Instagram.
I get on Pornhub.
You're a simple man. You get on Twitter. You see Nintendo. You stay on Twitter. You see political cringe that doesn't involve something that is topical, and then you get off.
One of the most annoying things was like Twitter. Twitter would recommend me tweets from like K-pop stands for so long, and like repeatedly, I would just be like, "I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in this. I'm not interested in any of this," and Twitter would still keep but Twitter would still keep recommending me K-pop stuff, and at that point, I was just done. I was like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna do this. I don't feel like doing it. But yeah. Anyway, I think one final conversation topic. If you could adapt any one video game into a movie, what would it be and why? And it can't be something that's already been done before, obviously.
No, that would just be The Last of Us. Like we already know the Mario movies coming out with Chris Pratt and Martin.
Knights of the Old Republic, Vincent. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, that would do really well as a movie, for sure. I mean, it's Star Wars, so like it's gonna, well, if it's directed properly.
Yeah.
I gotta remember the sequels exist.
I was gonna say Dark Souls, and I remembered. Wait, no one would understand what the hell's going on.
The main protagonist is just like rolling around the room for half the action scene.
Yeah, and it's just like, you know what?
Wait, what?
Dude, Half-Life? I actually.
Yeah, Half-Life from Black Mesa.
I feel like they wouldn't do Half-Life right. They wouldn't do Gordon Freeman right. I feel like.
No, because they.
It's the thing.
They have to get a.
It's probably gonna be the case of like some like either like for the 7 Days of War, Alex, or for like in the Black Mesa facility, like I forget his name, but Alex
The
is
Sims.
like that.
The Sims gets adapted into a movie.
That's just a series at this point.
Warhammer.
No,
Warhammer.
The Sims would just be
Besides, the
Oh,
Warhammer
Bioshock.
series,
Wait,
that's already been a movie.
The Sims. That's just the plot of Free Guy.
Yeah, but except they continue their
Warframe.
Warframe into it. That would be sick. That would be sick.
Yeah,
and also
Mass Effect.
They also, I mean, it's already a film at this point. It's just the fact that you can't go off the main character like
Yeah.
off Mr. Yeah.
If they did a Half-Life movie, I think they would probably get God, I can't remember the actual actor's name, but it's the dude that plays Jesse Heisenberg. No.
Heisenberg. I don't know his name either.
No, not Heisenberg.
I want Apex, like Apex Titanfall type thing.
I would want Titanfall. I would want a Titanfall movie more than an Apex movie, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, you've seen like the cinematics they made already. Imagine if that was a full movie. Like,
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Tales from the Outlands as like a full. That would be sick for sure.
like tell Arcane, because I heard Arcane is good.
Yeah, weirdly, like whether you like League of Legends or not, you gotta admit Arcane is really freaking impressive.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen clips.
Yeah,
and
none of us.
like I
I'm
actually
not
want to watch it.
I'm not watching it.
You can't, yeah, you can't deny it's very impressive.
Left for Dead movie.
that would
I
be.
mean, it can work. It can work.
Metro?
that can work. There
Oh,
are,
Metro.
oh, that would be great because there's already a
Yeah.
good established. There's already a good established character.
Yeah. Yeah. I still have to beat Metro. I haven't beaten the
Yeah,
one
I
Metro
haven't
game
either.
I bought yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I will.
That's what I
certainly
was trying to say.
Yakuza's a movie.
Yakuza.
No, wait. There already is a Yakuza movie. I
There
forgot about
is?
that.
Is there actually?
It is. Yeah. There. I was like back like a year ago. I was trying to.
DM me this, Anthony.
all
DM me
the
DM me this movie.
Yeah.
Actually no. Put it in VC chat.
Gmod.
Put it in VC chat.
Gmod. Hades.
Oh, Hades would be sick as a movie. I'm kind of. Oh God, no. Wait, that's just the thing.
Oh, it is.
It's just the thing. It's already a movie. There, problem solved. We don't have to deal with that cringe. I don't know. From what I've experienced, I would argue that Yakuza's kind of already a movie, just in like the way that it plays.
Not Dishonored.
I've never played Dishonored. I don't really know very much about it.
Deus Ex.
Deus Ex was one of those games that I saw it. I saw like a commercial for it and I was like, dude, I really want to play this game, and then I never played the game.
Subverse.
No.
Yes. Yes. Now that I can get down to.
Persona 5 were actually done good and not like what we have now.
Oh yeah, wasn't there like a Persona 5 like anime that wasn't done very good at all?
It's terrible.
5. That was 5.
Yeah.
5 and 4.
Yeah, I know. So it's in.
But 4 was
Oh, you put it in
actually
VC chat. Alright, hold on, let me check this.
Yeah, and it's the actual movie. I was trying to find an actual thing on like my Focus website.
maybe not.
Wow,
live
that's-
action, maybe do an animated one.
It's actually pretty cool. Anyway.
But I will say, I've seen the little clips of it. It looks like porn star acting, but also like it's still good. It's still fun to actually watch.
Yes.
First Rain.
Mhm.
That would work as like a TV short.
It has characters in it.
Yeah, but I feel like it would work more as like a short film movie. It's just like they start, get fighting, they die, they realize they can't die, and it's just like how many.
I still really want to see a Legend of Zelda movie. Which is largely why I'm hoping. Which is
But like, what storyline would it go with?
That's why. Yeah, I think
that is a good point.
Official timeline until like the Divergent.
It's gonna be like the Avengers timeline.
Right? Or
Gmod. Gmod.
No. No,
the Gmod movie.
The Gmod movie is just gonna be too. Fucking.
It's just Ready Player 2. But yeah, getting back to what I
That's for the zombies.
that actually would be pretty sick.
Psychonauts. Psychonauts.
Oh yeah, Psychonauts would work.
Wasn't there a Ratchet and Clank movie?
Yeah, there is.
That's
I
been
think
one
so,
I've really
yeah.
wanted to see.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the new game that came out I think last year, Ratchet and Clank, what was it? Travel Through Time, Battle Through Time.
Team Fortress.
Team Fortress would be sick as a movie.
Classic or before 2?
Obviously 2.
I
I mean, classic is fine, but like 2 is just the more iconic one. Dude,
Siege, maybe because I've seen the cinematic for Siege. I'm pretty good.
I would definitely want to see like an animated or even a live action adaptation of the comic series of Team Fortress 2, if you follow the comics.
I'd rather see animated.
The only problem with that though, is that they haven't finished it yet.
Is there a Tomb Raider movie? I feel like there is.
Yes,
Several.
There are
Starring
5 or 6.
I want to say her name is like Mia Jovovich.
Or the Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein would be sick as a movie.
Yeah, but
Dragon
it
Age,
would probably be very. It would probably have to be launched on Netflix and not be official movie
Alan Wake.
because like a lot of
Alan Wake would be freaking sick as a movie. I would so be down to watch an Alan Wake movie. Oh yeah, isn't he being played by a freaking like um Jake Gyllenhaal in the sequel that they announced?
I don't know.
Thought it was a whole thing. Hold on. Let me look this up. I'm gonna look this up. Hold on.
Isn't Dead Space already a movie? I know there's an animated one.
Alan Wake 2. Whoops, I forgot an A, so I just wrote Alan Wake.
I think it's only down. I think it's just downfall. That's it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Jake Gyllenhaal.
That's RuneScape. That's weird to hear.
Or no, I'm an idiot. This is somebody entirely different. Okay. Ilka Villi and Matthew Peretta will reprise their roles. Interesting. Hold on, let me.
Super Meat Boy.
I've actually never played Super Meat Boy. Okay, so it wasn't Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't know why I thought that.
Just XCOM as a movie.
No.
I don't know how that would work.
Alien movie.
Yeah, I don't think it would stand.
Yeah, but anyway, back to what I was saying about the. You say Doki Doki? Oh my god.
God fucking it's already an anime. Fuck off.
Is it actually?
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's called The Game.
That's a novel, graphic novel. What do you mean original novel?
That's what almost all anime is. A graphic novel.
It's like saying BlazBlue is one, but it's a fighting game.
No, please no. I don't no.
It's already
you're already having bad memories because Vincent mixed you so hard.
Borderlands.
No, I just think BlazBlue would be terrible as a movie.
That would be a mixed bag depending on like which story you go with. Yes.
Yeah. Getting back to what I was saying about like a Legend of Zelda movie. I know you were asking about like what timeline specifically, and I think they'd probably come up with a new one, like a new entry in the timeline, possibly.
Hopefully it's good.
Hopefully it's good. That's largely why I'm hoping the Mario movie does good, because if the Mario movie does good, they might be encouraged to do more.
No, I think the Mario movie might. It's dependent on how they do it, how they present it.
Yeah, it really depends.
It might either
Chris Pratt.
It might either have enough money to make a sequel, or it would just die.
There are two potential ways. There are two potential ways that the Mario movie could be good, and that is either A, Chris Pratt actually has a half decent Mario impression, or B, Chris Pratt's Mario impression is reminiscent of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Or like option C, they go Super Mario movie from 1991.
Oh god, yeah.
How would you feel about Brawlhalla movie?
Oh, that'd be sick. I've always wanted to see some kind of like I wish they did like a Stories from the Outlands kind of thing, but with Brawlhalla characters. Cause it would be so sick to see like their origins, you know, how they got to be who they are, how they die and end up in Valhalla.
Yeah. 93. Binding of Isaac as a movie.
I've got to be honest, I've never played The Binding of Isaac. Although I feel like that game would just be way too gross for it to be a movie.
It would be way too gross and way too sad.
Isn't Isaac naked throughout like the entire? Yeah.
And he injects himself and consumes like a whole methadone of like disgusting drugs. Even one of his special items is Ipecac.
Oh, Fallout.
I don't know. We'll probably only have to wait a few years, and then we'll get the IRL experience.
Yeah, we just have to wait. We just have to wait till Miss fucking whatever his name is to die.
I think GTA would be a
Tom
good
Brady.
crime movie. Is any of the GTA games?
I would not watch that.
In terms of story, yeah, it could work.
They're just a basic crime movie.
I'd want to see like a live action adaptation of like the San Andreas storyline. So I already feel like the GTA 5 one looks pretty good just because it's a more modern game. But definitely like the older not as polished looking games could look pretty cool in like a live action kind of setting.
Yeah, and not what they did.
The remaster games, terrible.
Oh yeah, no, I heard the remasters were garbage.
The remasters are just dog shit. They ruined San Andreas. They make everyone look like ass. And I've said it looks like a shitty Unity remake.
It probably is.
It is. If you look at it, it is. It's too bright. The graphics are like they're good, but they just feel out of place. And also, a lot of the textures are recolored over with some sampling of it, like left.
Yeah, it's
the famous one I believe Charlie saw, or like some other people pointed out, was one of the NPCs had a basketball T-shirt that was originally 9, and it was written over with a 7, and the 9 was still visible.
Oh Jesus, that's
Did I
horrible.
already say Dying Light?
No, I don't think you did yet. That'd be sick.
Yeah, Dying
Payday 2.
Or just Payday.
Just Payday, the original movie.
God, could you imagine if a movie started like that? Like they don't start with the first movie. They just go straight to 2.
No, it's like their movie is like how the Payday gang went together.
How the penguins escaped Madagascar.
how the Payday crew escaped Madagascar.
Payday 3 set in Madagascar. Have any of you guys seen the Has any of you guys seen the Hitman movies? Because I know that that's a thing that exists as well.
I forgot they exist.
I feel like they were trash.
What a God of War movie.
I saw a couple clips. I don't know. God of War already kind of feels like too like cinematic to where like I feel like just putting it into a movie format wouldn't do very much.
But if there was gonna be a movie of it, it was most likely people would go back to the 2006 to
Yeah, like classic God of War would probably get a movie adaptation.
It's just all violence, all nudity. It's literally sex in the first cutscene of the game.
The Berserk live action.
Sea of Thieves.
No, that's just a lot of
Dude,
people.
they would never be able to do like a Berserk anything, honestly. Like the fact that we've even got like some kind of adaptation of that freaking manga at all.
Yeah, and like the 91, like the old 90 version, I forget what version.
The 97 one is really good. The 2016 one not as much. But God, there are so many scenes that you would probably just have to cut out completely. Cuz they're just
especially the one that Xander you recently read. It's like, raped and also skewered and burnt.
Oh yeah, that they cut that out because that takes place like within the timeline of the 97 anime, but they cut that out completely for completely understandable reasons. Because Jesus, that's disgusting. But yeah, there's so many other scenes like even after the fact. It's just like Jesus. Yeah.
And I don't think anyone respectfully would be able to make an adaptation without probably consent with either the publisher and or maybe their relatives or like a specific person that was given like the rights after
Right.
the creator's death.
Yeah.
Okay, Red Dead Redemption.
Dude, Red Dead Redemption. I want to play Red Dead Redemption again because I never finished it and I don't actually have the game. I have Red Dead Redemption.
I wish I had a PS.
Yeah, I've got it right here. Hold on.
Or the second one.
I wish I had a PS3 or
I've got it right here.
Yeah, that is good, and it's super cool because like Red Dead 1 is Red Dead 2 is the prequel, and it's bigger than Red Dead 1.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Red Dead Redemption is. Well, yeah, it's basically just like GTA but a Western.
Yeah, that's it.
Well,
Yes, but
similar engine made by the same developers. Yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
Do you have any more? Or is this it?
Purple Space Program.
that'd be stupid.
Is there already a second movie?
Is there?
I feel like there is. I feel like
I think there is. Just
Probably.
a bad one.
I know there was a Street Fighter movie, like a live action Street Fighter movie back in the 90s.
I've only watched animated ones, or one of
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, I've heard the animated one's pretty good.
Yeah,
The live action one, well, I mean it's a live action movie.
I watched the second one. Don't remember.
The one redeeming quality about the live action Street Fighter is the dude that plays M Bison, did the role for his kids, because his kids were fans of the game. That's like the redeeming quality. Jesus,
Tom Clancy's The Division.
we are old, dude. Like we are just old.
Yeah, there's the Street Fighter movie, the old Mortal Kombat movie.
What did you guys think of the new Mortal Kombat movie?
I didn't watch it. My dad did.
Oh,
God, oh God, this thing.
I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought Scorpion and Sub-Zero were done really well in that movie. Like honestly, those are just the best. Like they are portrayed the best in that movie. Lizard's also pretty good. God, why? Australian Laser Man. What's his name?
Australian Laser Man.
Australian Laser Man in Mortal Kombat. I can't remember his name.
I think I might know. I think I might know who you're talking about.
Type that in Google. Australian Laser Man. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. Well, let me just try looking it up. Australian Laser Man. No Mortal Kombat. We'll just see what pops up. Man charged after laser pointed at polar helicopter.
I've heard of that one. That actually happened.
Kano, that's his name.
Kano.
Kano. Yeah, Kano's done very well in that movie as well.
Because isn't he just like a brutal bounty hunter?
Yeah, he's just kind of like a scum of the earth. Yeah, scum of the earth mercenary, and he's pretty cool. There's a part in the movie where he kills Reptile, and he's like fatality. It's so cool.
Fatality.
Yeah, well, wait, it's a live action.
It's a live action movie.
So
I would say the
League
only.
plays.
I'm not sure how Lethal League would work as a movie.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's already like a too small of a community at that.
Yeah.
It's like the knockout community except more smaller.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to let this drag on for too long. So that's gonna be the end of this episode of Weekly Idiots. If you guys, well, I mean, hey, that's every week for us. Let's be honest.
What's the first one with Kyle and Caleb?
Yeah, we gotta get some guests on the show again. So I'm gonna try to put a little bit more effort into next week's. Try to get some actual like special guests on the show again.
Jaden.
Dude, Jaden would be sick. Wait, his monthly visit's coming up soon.
Soon.
Like March 8th, I think.
If he remembers.
If he remembers, I'll put the event. The event should be up already.
Did he forget last time?
Did he forget?
Yeah.
No, or I was told he popped in like while I was away doing something else and I missed him.
That was a different day.
Yeah,
He also told you covered.
Yeah, no, it was that day. It was that day. Were you lying?
I was not lying.
It was not me.
Yeah, okay, I believe that. Anyway. Yeah, that's coming up soon. Yeah, we'll try to get somebody else on the Weekly Idiots podcast. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. Remember, subscribe, all three of us. Link in the
I'm not
description.
getting paid with Xander.
Well, okay, fine. You can have like whatever when I actually make money off of these, because let's be honest, they
Demand
don't.
my $5.
You demand your $5. You know what? Fine. You really want this?
Send him the $5.
What's your cash at?
Send me money
I don't have cash, I don't have PayPal.
Oh, that'll work anyway. I think.
Send me money.
How do I send you my? Because I haven't actually found money.
Whatever. We'll figure this out later. Bye, guys. See you next episode.
Yeah.